Welcome to Miss Beth's place. We got some new going on today that I'm going to show y'all. Now, yesterday I decided that I was going to make another starter for sourdough bread. The last one I tried to make a quick starter, and I did succeed, and I did make the bread, and I made it in my bread maker. But this time I decided I was going to try to do it without the yeast, because that last one had a yeast starter in it. Oh God, oh, that smells good. Now, as you can see, it's got bubbles in it. And it has risen. When I first put it in there, it was to about right there. I forgot to mark it, but now it's to right there. So today I'm going to feed it, and I'm going to feed it with, I think I'm going to do half a cup of flour and a half a cup of water. Now, I started out with 1 cup of flour and 1 cup of water. Oh, I think it was bread flour. So today I'm going to use half a cup of flour and half a cup of water. I was watching a video recently, and it was talking about how you can make too much starter. If you're not going to be using it on a regular basis, there's no need to make a huge amount. So I'm going to cut down on the flour and the water, because as you can see, I got quite a bit. It also said, as far as discard, most of them, some of them I watched said the day after, some said 2 days, some said 3, 4. I think I'm going to wait and see before I discard any, maybe another day, and then I'll probably discard. It said to discard half of it. So I think that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to wait to discard half of it tomorrow. So this is day 2, and that's how much I have already, with 1 cup of flour and 1 cup of water. That's it, nothing else. It's very frothy. It looks like it's bubbling. It's talking to me. Now, everybody I've watched, it's like a little game. They play name your starter. A couple of them took my names already. So in honor of my daughter's birthday, that was yesterday, that's in heaven, her name was Chloe Sophia. So since she was such a bubbly little special needs child, I think I'm going to name this after her, and I'm going to name my starter Sophia. Sophia, or Sophie, because it's really bubbly in there, and it's talking to me. It's going pop, 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 pop. So I'm just so excited, because the last one didn't look like this at all. It just looked like watery dough. It's got a good color, got a good smell. I'm keeping it in there. I put it in this right here in case it boils over. I don't think it's going to boil over, because that's a pretty good size dish here. This glass. I'm keeping it in my plant room, and my plant room is nice and warm. It's usually probably around 78 degrees in there, because it doesn't get the cooling like the rest of the house does. So that's where I keep all my plants in there, or extra plants. So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna get my flour and my water, and I'm gonna water. I'm going to feed Sophia. There, that's what we're gonna do. Let me see what I can find to feed her. We need some unbleached. We don't need self-rising. We need bread flour, half a cup. what I'm going to use. Or all-purpose. I could use all-purpose, regular all-purpose. I got to find my measuring cup. Because I was making a cake and my dishes are dirty. And it also said to use filtered water. So I'm going to get the filtered water out of my refrigerator. So half a cup of each. Now this is cold. I don't really want to feed it with cold water. So I'm going to pop it in the microwave for about 10 seconds. Because I don't want it to be cold water. I don't know how that would work out. But man, it's bubbly in there. I'm going to stir it up. Oh, look there. Oh, wow. Look how cool that looks. Man. Look at here. That's all ready to go. I think it's speeding it up because it's in there in that room and it's so warm. All right. So there I'm gonna go with half a cup of filtered water and half a cup of bread flour. And then it's just mix it up really good. Get all the clumps out of it. I know y'all can't see me because my camera's up here where I'm at. Wow. Make sure it's all from the bottom. No flour stuck to the bottom of the pan or around the edges. Sophia is happy. Alrighty. Got plenty of starter in there. Plenty. I don't even have to push the sides down because it's doing good. And also, I was told not to wash starter down your sink, to soak it in some cold water. Whatever you discard into another glass container and put it in your refrigerator. But I hadn't started discarding yet. I might get some people telling me I didn't do it right, but you know, that's how I roll. I find out the hard way. But I've watched, oh my gosh, I binge watched YouTube and TikTok videos last night. And let me just tell you, every one of them was different. Every one of them. Some people swore by scales, which I have ordered me some scales. But it's going to be a few days before they get here. I might try that next if this don't work. Some people swear by the scales and each precise measurement. Everybody's measurements was different. Everybody's, when they put their starter in to make their bread, everybody's measurements was different. So I'm just going to do it my way. I'm going to kind of take a collaboration of everybody's videos of how they do their sourdough starter, because they had to start from somewhere just like me at the bottom. But I love me some sourdough bread, so I'm really looking forward to this. I bought some sourdough bread the other day, a big old loaf of it, at Publix. It was like $5. And that's how much is left We made some sourdough sandwiches last night. Hold on. My husband, I come home from work because I own a gym, and I said, I'm so tired. I had to go to the doctor yesterday because I had tennis elbow. So I had to go to the doctor, and I got 2 shots, one in each. I got 2 in this hip right here, and a bunch of other medicine. And that reminds me, I got to take my medicine today. But I said, I don't really feel like cooking, because if I cook, I got to wash dishes too. He said, hey, how about just a ham and egg sandwich? So I have some good sliced ham that's in a little thing about as big as that. It's already sliced. So I fried that up and with a little bit of butter and got it all brown and crunchy around the edges. And then I fried us up some eggs, and I toasted that sourdough bread with just a little bit of butter in the oven with just a tiny little sprinkle of garlic salt. And I made those sandwiches. He wanted Duke's mayonnaise, so I put Duke's mayonnaise on this time. Usually I use Hellmann's. He ranted for 30 minutes about how good those sandwiches were. And they were very good. He says, what is it that makes them so good? I said, I think it's the sourdough. He says, can we buy sourdough right here? Because I had to drive 20 miles to get groceries yesterday, and I go to Publix. We do have a little grocery store over here, and they do occasionally have the Crafts, is it Craftsman? Kraft something bread. And it comes in a sourdough bread also, and it's good. But they don't always have it, because we're in a very small town. So I told him, I said, that's why I want to learn how to make sourdough bread, because it's so good. It's so good. And when you toast it, oh my gosh, it just brings out a whole different level of flavor. And if you hadn't had sourdough bread, I know a lot of kids and, younger adults will say, sourdough. I don't want anything that tastes sour. I'm telling you, it's that fermenting of this flour and this water. And that's all that's in that bread, y'all. I mean, when you make it, it's flour and bread and salt. That's all that's in it. And this starter. Anyways, get out there and make y'all some sourdough bread. I will tune back. I'm going to try to make all these videos kind of into one. So that was day 1 and 2. This is 2. So when I come back on here, it'll be day 3 or 4. But that's where I'm at right now. I think I'm going to take my magic marker and mark right here. I'm going to put a 2 right there. And then when I come back, I can see how much it rose. So I'm thinking it's probably going to be halfway up the jar. I might have to discard half of it and then put it in a smaller jar and start making it, like feeding it smaller amounts. That way I won't have so much. But I have found some really good discard recipes too. A lady did some, what she call those things? Rolls. And they just puffed up out of the muffin tin. And she used her discard. It was eggs and, I think it was eggs and butter and discard and milk. Oh, they look so good. I'm going to try them. So y'all don't throw it away. And if you make this and you have some that you want to discard right there, put some in a little small jar and give it to a friend of yours. It'll be ready to go. They will love you to death for that. Just say, hey, it's already ready to go. All you got to do is just feed it when you want to, start making your bread. And they will love you for that, because that will save them a week to 2 weeks to do that. So share your starter with somebody when you get it made. All right, I'll see y'all on day 3 or 4. Love you, bye. Okay, this is day 3 of my starter, and I've been keeping it in my plant room in there where it's nice and warm. And I measured it yesterday. It has rose just a little bit, but last night it had gotten up to there, and now it's back to here. So I was gonna do some discard. I think I will do a little bit. Just gotta figure out where I'm gonna put the discard at. Anyways, day 3, I'm gonna discard half of it, and I'm gonna feed it a half a cup of flour and a half a cup of water. Okay, I've got my bread flour. I'm gonna put in, stir this first. Let me get me a big spoon. And it's, as you can see, I can't see this, but it smells wonderful. It smells very doughy. You can see that it's got bubbles in it. And you can see that it did rise up, because you can see where it rose up and then it fell back down. So, boy, it's nice and gloppy. That's what I call it. It's gloppity. It's already got this gooey consistency to it. Not any water on it. What they call hooch. Looks good, smells good. So I'm going to feed it. Actually, I'm going to take out some of it first. So it usually says to take out about half of it if it's looking good. So I'm going to take out, I don't know how I'm going to get it out of there. Let's see. Let's try one of these spoons. All I have is this little tiny jar here that I can find with a lid. This is going to be probably about half a cup or more. So that's going to be my discard. So I'm going to put this in some cold water. Let it soak. Because it will turn to plaster if you pour it down your sink. You don't want to ever pour it down your sink. So now I've got my half a cup of bread flour. I'm going to add that in there. And a half a cup of water out of my, filtered water out of my fridge. Now this is cold, so I'm going to put it in the microwave for about 10 seconds because I don't want to put cold water in my, I don't want to put ice cold water in my starter. Somebody's trying to come. No problem. Okay. It's just room temperature now. It's not hot, it's not cold. And that's going in. And I'm going to stir that really good. And it's a nice consistency. I'm going to get down, scrape down if there's any on the wall of the jar, which there is a little, because I mean this jar was way up there last night. Way up there. Okay. There she is. And I already have something planned for my discard. I found some recipes that sounded really good, like for crackers. Discard yeast crackers. Or sourdough crackers. Not yeast crackers, sourdough crackers. Somebody's trying to call me, so I'm going to end this video. This was day 3. I discarded about a cup of the mixture, and I fed it a half a cup of the bread flour and a half a cup of room temperature water. And When I come back to you, it'll be day 4. Y'all have a good one. I'll see you on day 4. Okay, it's day 6 of my starter dough concoction, and I just took out half of my mixture and I put in 1 cup of all-purpose flour. I put this is my discard, which is quite a bit of discard. I think I'm gonna make some crackers with that or something for soon. And then I'm gonna add a little less than half a cup of water that's warm, because I don't want it to be cold. It's just warmed a little bit, like. So I'm gonna add that in here. It looks a little thin, but the other over here, on the other hand, let me find something to stir with. The discard is pretty thick. So, yeah, the discard looks good. Both of them look good. They smell good. I'm gonna put some plastic wrap over this and put this in the refrigerator, because I don't have a lid for it. And then I'm going to put some plastic wrap over this tightly, and I'm going to put it, I think I'm going to put it in the oven where it's a little bit warmer, where maybe it will thicken up. It did bubble up when I first added everything yesterday. So let's see what happens with it today. So that's the discard, and that's that much of my sourdough. My jar doesn't look very clean. I might need to change jars. Anyways, that's day 6. Tomorrow is day 7. It'll be Monday. That's when I started this. And then I will decide whether I need to keep going, keep feeding it, or start making stuff with it, like sourdough bread or crackers or tortillas or popovers or whatever. So that's day 6, and I will come back with you tomorrow on day 7. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Miss Beth's place again. So this is I believe this is day 8 of my starter dough, because I skipped a day or 2. So this is where I have my starter dough at. It's on my stove. It's in this container. It's looking pretty thick. It smells nice and yeasty. I'm going to stir it up really good. It looks like a kind of thick and gooey. I don't know. It's not runny, but it's not like dough already. So I'm going to discard some of it, and I'm going to feed it again, and then I may make some bread after a while if I feel lucky. So let me get my discard jar out of the refrigerator. This is my discard jar. I got this jar from McGuire's. We ate there this past weekend, and I got me a drink. It's called the Irish Wake. It was green. That's why there's green on here. So there's my discard. I'm gonna look at it. Oh, it's really nice and thick. So that's that. So I'm going to stir this up. It's pretty thick too. I mean, it's not as thick as my discard, but it's pretty thick. So what I'm gonna do is make a mess with this. What I'm gonna do is make a mess. Okay, what am I doing? Alright, so I'm going to just eyeball it, and I'm going to pour about that much in there. And then I'm going to push this down. I think I need another jar. This jar don't look too hot. It's really a vase. That's what it is. Okay, now I'm going to take, I warmed up a little bit of water in the microwave because I wanted to make sure it wasn't cold. Very cold. So this is about 1/3 of a cup of, let me see how warm this is. Woo, that's pretty warm. Let me add a little bit of cold water to that. Getting that out of my fridge, it's filtered. Okay, where are my noodles? There they are. So this is 1/3 of a cup, and I've got some bread flour. I'll put 1/3 of a cup in there. I don't ever measure anything much, like with a scale. I did order a scale, but it hasn't come yet. I don't know where it's at. And then I'm going to try to put just as much water, maybe a little less in there. And stir it well. It's got a good smell to it. You know, you want to make sure when you're making this that your dough or your mixture doesn't turn like an orange or a pink color, because that could mean it's got something growing in there that you don't want to be growing in there. Just a little bit more water. Alrighty. It looks good. It's nice and thick. And yesterday or day before yesterday was the last time. I've been doing this. I've been feeding it. I just hadn't been showing y'all on camera. So it's been a couple days since I showed y'all on the camera. But her name is Sophia, or Sophie. She looks pretty good. I mean, she does get frothy, and she talks to me, and she has a little, the little bubbles in her. So I'm going to clean up my mess, and if later on I might decide to make some bread. But anyways, this is going to be the end of my video for this time. So I started, this is about day 8 or 9, and I'm still feeding it, and I still have discard. And I did use some discard to make some crackers the other day, and they turned out pretty good, but I was kind of experimenting with them because I think I got them a little bit too thin. But it made some sourdough crackers, so I'm going to experiment with my discard also, because there's a lot of discard in here, and I don't want to waste it. So that's my experiment. That's my sourdough starter. I got my sourdough starter here, and it is good to go. I can start making my bread anytime I want to. I'm going to go on YouTube and see if I can find a recipe that I am comfortable with, that I don't have to have a scale to measure it, because I have not got my scale in the mail yet. So This is day 8 or 9. I lost count. I think it was Monday. So this is Wednesday. So that would be 7, 8, 9 days. Still got my starter going. It's nice and healthy looking, and it smells good. And then I got my discard. I'm going to put this back in my refrigerator and keep it. And I'm going to try to make some discard recipes with it. So anybody can make it. You just got to have patience because it takes a while. Now, when I make my dough, I hope it turns out well. But when I do, I'll come back and I'll make a video and I'll show y'all that. So, until then, I hope y'all enjoyed my video. It's kind of been a hodgepodge. I've been coming and going for 9 days, 8 days. So, get in there and start you some starter. All you need is whatever you want to start with. 1/2 cup of flour and 1/2 cup of water. Filtered water, if you got it, so it don't have the chemicals in it. If it has the chemicals in it, heat the water up and let it cool off. You don't have to have it. I say you can use it cold, but most people say don't use it cold. Use it sort of warm or room temperature. Put it in a warm spot in your house, like in your on your stove, or in a room that's warmer, or on your kitchen counter if your kitchen gets warm a lot. My kitchen stays pretty cool because my house is really cool. I keep it at about 71. Starters probably should be kept around 70, mid 70s at least. Just whatever the humidity is and whatever the temperature is, I think you'll notice if it's a little bit warmer, it's going to rise a little bit better. It's going to get to where it needs to be quicker. All right. I'll see y'all on the next video. And y'all have a blessed day. God bless. Bye-bye.
Hey, how you doing?